Hey guys, welcome to Redneck Off the Range. Today I'm going to give you an update on the lake since the fish apocalypse happened in July of 2022. It's currently the beginning of May 2023 and the aeration system's been going pretty much non-stop since then, other than a couple of power outages. So the water's not exactly that clear. Now keep in mind that's probably 60 plus years of muck, maybe 70, 75 years of muck buildup and all that other nastiness on the bottom of the lake. So it's probably going to take a long time to get the water to be very clear. You get probably about 6 inches or so of visibility, and that's about it. But I don't know, I don't think it's going to clear up anytime soon. Now, the more exciting update is the fish. Now, we had, I guess 4 species of fish stocked in the fall. Of course, fathead minnows. We had 30 pounds of fathead minnows put in there to be feeder fish, obviously. We had 1,000 bluegill put in, 400 red ear sunfish, and 200 hybrid bluegill. That was all stocked in the fall. It was stocked in October. And this past weekend I took out a half tube of crickets and took my ultralight out and just went around the lake to see what I could catch. Now, being that there were still surviving bluegill in there, it is kind of difficult to know whether or not a bluegill is one of the freshly stocked bluegills or if it's an older bluegill, that one that was already in there. It's a little hard to tell that. Although, if it's a big bluegill, which I did catch quite a few big bluegill, I know those are surviving bluegill. I caught a handful of pretty good sized bluegill. Also, I caught quite a few little tiny bluegill, which were about the size of the bluegill that we had stocked. Maybe even some of them were smaller than the ones we had stocked. So I can only assume that those were also already in the lake from before. But we did catch I'm the only one that was fishing. I caught quite a few medium, like 5 to 6 inch bluegill, and I think those are either going to be the ones that we had stocked or the ones that were already in there that were about the size of the ones we had stocked at the time that they were put in. So either way, the bluegill population is doing very well. I also caught about a half dozen or so of the hybrid bluegill. So, let's just say I caught 6. I know I caught a couple of them twice. So they're not bait shy. If you throw them back and 5-10 minutes later they bite the same hook with another cricket on it, they're obviously not shy after being caught to continue eating and going after the bait. So that's good. So let's just say I caught 6 of the hybrid bluegill, 6 out of 200. That kind of gives me a good idea on how the population of the hybrids are doing. And to me, it seems like they're doing very well. It is possible that they could reproduce, but they're like 90% male. And so if they're going to reproduce, they're either going to reproduce, you're either probably going to have a male and a female reproduce with each other. And I don't know if that creates a purebred bluegill or a purebred green sunfish, or if it's got to go a couple more generations after that, or however that works. But they could also reproduce with a purebred bluegill, and then you're going to have pretty much all bluegill after that. So it is possible they could reproduce, but not necessarily likely that they'll reproduce with each other. But either way, the hybrid bluegill are doing very well, and some of them are really, really pretty. Whenever I look up hybrid bluegill, it seems like a lot of the pictures that come up are a little more blandish color fish. There are a few out there that are more pretty fish. These were definitely very, pretty fish. Now, I don't know if their colors kind of fade and become more bland as they get older. Maybe. But they do have that really bright, fluorescent, like turquoisey, greenish color on them, like you see on a green sunfish. And I don't know, they were just very pretty, had very yellow bellies on them. They were just really pretty fish. Now, I also caught quite a few little tiny bass and little tiny crappie, probably the bass were probably anywhere from 4 inches to 6 inches, so not big enough for me to want to remove from the lake. But if I ever catch one that's bigger than 6 inches, say say 7, 8, 9 inches bigger than that, those definitely come out. And the crappie were probably, 6 or 7 inches. So they were not very big. Some of them were very dark, very cool looking crappie. But that's all I caught. In total, I caught about 50 fish. Again, I caught a couple of them twice that I know for a fact. So I'm just going to say I caught around 50 fish. I got like 54 pictures of fish that I caught. So about 50 fish. No red ear sunfish yet, which does not surprise me because they're more bottom feeders. So I might have to try a different technique to try to catch red ear a little more frequently. Get like a slip bobber that can go deeper, get the bait down deeper for the red ear. Also, no yellow perch, but of course I only stocked those like a month and a half ago, and they were pretty small. They were only like 3 to 4 inches, so they weren't very big. So I'm not really expecting to catch a whole lot of those until like fall maybe, or even just next year. So but I hope they're doing well, and given the fact that there's a lot of tiny bluegill out there, and of course the shiners and the minnows that we put in, I think they're gonna do pretty well. So they're, the predator fish are not gonna just eat them up because there's a huge diverse population of fish down there. So hopefully not a whole lot of my perch get eaten. Also, I have not caught any surviving catfish yet. Obviously, I put in the albino catfish again like a month and a half ago whenever I did the perch. I'm not trying to catch those, so when I'm catfishing, I'm trying to use bigger baits so that those smaller catfish are not going to go after it. I'm looking for a big catfish because we had some pretty big ones in there. And if I'm going to catch a surviving catfish, it's most likely going to be a bigger catfish like that. So nothing yet, but I'm not giving up. Just because I don't catch them doesn't mean they're not there. And plus, they don't really reproduce. So, if we had, say, 300 and 250 of them died, then you only got 50 in the same body of water. So they're a lot more sparse, they're a lot more spread out, and so it's going to be a lot harder to catch them, especially a bigger one, because you never know, some of the survivors might have been smaller as well. So it's just a little harder. Doesn't mean they're not there, so I'm going to keep doing it, and after the end of the year, when it gets into fall, if I don't catch anything, I can probably just assume that they all died. But we're going to keep at it and keep trying. And that's it. That is the update for the lake. We're going to have some grass-eating carp put in because I know that at least one survived, although I haven't seen it at all this year. So I think in a couple weeks we're going to have like 8 grass carp put in to help with the vegetation control. And then in the fall we're going to have channel cats and largemouth bass and the black crappie put in. And realistically, we probably don't need the bass or the crappie. That population will probably bounce back, but it's supposedly being offered for free from the fishery that sold us, they didn't sell us, they installed the aeration system. So they're going to give us like 75 each of those. And then I might myself stock some more yellow perch and some more minnows and shiners and possibly some walleye and some hybrid striped bass. Gonna give it a little while, see if I can catch any of those perch either in a trap or in a net or on hook and line. See how they're doing. If they're doing well, then I'll probably add those additional species. If they're not doing well, then I might not. So we'll see how that goes. I got a few months to decide that. So anyway, that's the update on the lake. So subscribe to my channel, and until next time, be safe.